Hey everyone, this is another episode of Unedited, no BS. Let's do a video on Invest with Henry. 3 Tesla option trades to make 50% easily.
If your neck looks like this, you need to watch this video.
Okay. There's an ad. Okay.
Is doomed. You know, if you take a look at what Elon is doing to the company, it's just absolutely destroying shareholder value. And when I look at a company that's innovating like Tesla, it's kind of sad to see Elon just break up with Trump, which is not really surprising.
So talking about all the tweets that he was making, Elon and Trump.
I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. So if anything, honestly, Tesla, it doesn't really matter their future innovation. At the moment, all we're going to see right now is pain in the stock. You know, there is something that you can do about the situation. And basically, I've been saying to be cautious on Tesla. And now that the stock is down significantly, it does actually present an opportunity to sell puts. Because you see what happens is when you have someone as crazy as Elon Musk that breaks up with Donald Trump, which is super important deal for him, right? That's incredibly important. Now there's an opportunity because clearly investors sold off the stock for the biggest sell-off literally ever. It was the biggest one-day drop in Tesla that investors have ever seen, right? Over 14%. And specifically, by the way, here I'm walking in Eastern Europe, and I'm just making this video because I think there's a really huge opportunity, and I would feel bad to not post about it. This actually presents an opportunity to just sell puts. Because if you think about what has showed this video, basically I was looking at Tesla sub 290. So if we look at the past 1 week, I was essentially thinking that Tesla's around 280, 285, sub 290 level, but it's already recovering as we can see here. And that is because, as I said in the beginning of the video, before the market opened up, it's likely an overreaction. And so far, it looks to be the case that it is an overreaction. However, still, Tesla is under 300, which is good. And just on the record, I want to say that I have no current position on Tesla other than call credit spreads. So I was positioned pretty bearish on Tesla, although I have some exposure in Tesla through a specific ETF that I do have. Anyways, let's go to trade Tesla options. I want to go over certain positions that you can open up and strategies that you can use. I'm going to go for June 20th expiration, something a bit more short-term since this is more event-driven. Given that it's event-driven, we kind of want to take advantage of a short-term opportunity. You can see here how it's actually crazy how much these options are going for. It's 14 days out, and this option is basically going for 4%. So right here, if you see, I'm going for a sell 280 put, and essentially this would give you exposure to Tesla at a 30 delta, and the volume is going to be a lot more as
2 weeks out, 280.
the day continues. You can see here 1334, and yeah, it's just the morning. The market
72% of profit. And you do end up getting Tesla, it ends up being 270 on average. It's not a bad play, I guess.
just opened up. So by the end of the day, I mean, this is going to be probably 3-4 times more of the volume. So the volume is very good, and the bid ask is also great. So a tight bid ask is good for liquidity purposes and getting in and out of this trade. However, you don't really need to do much once you open up the sell put, essentially, which is what makes selling this put option a very safe play. Okay. And then you are going to purchase a leap, and these leaps are freaking expensive as hell.
Buying leaps. So he wants to buy at 290. So let's see, he needs it to go to 360 in order to profit.
Heck, that's because Tesla has crazy volatility, right? Crazy. But I will show you an interesting play that I think can work out very well compared to just owning the stock. So let's go for something that's a little bit under the typical delta that I go for, 70, but this is 65. So that's fine as well. I'll show you this little variation here. And the benefit of this position is if Tesla rises slightly, okay, we're going for a slight rise in the short term. We're not going to be holding this position until expiration. We're just doing a kind of a shorter term play here on it.
So he wants to buy to, looks like 290 March 20th. So that's 9 months out.
On a recovery. Okay, so we're going to buy this leap option at 290, okay, for March, and then we're going to sell kind of a short-term covered call, right? So we can go for, let's go for June 20th, right? Hopefully you're watching this video as soon as I upload it and you're subscribed. So we're going to go for June 20th, and I'm going to go sell call. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell a call before the whole kind of crash in Tesla stock. So it would be kind of weird for it to kind of recover without any like precautions, right? Given what Elon said, which was pretty bad about Trump. I'm not really surprised he's an Epstein file, stuff like that. And I'm not getting political, just, yeah, people in power do kind of crazy stuff. They got lots of time and money to do crazy things. So Elon is really dropping bombs on Trump, and that relationship has essentially, yeah, it's over, right? So what I think is it's not going to get that much better on the social media, on Twitter and X and all that. There's still going to be some issues, and Tesla's probably not going to recover to where it was before, kind of like this mini crash, right? This one-day crash. Given that, right, just a simple fact is why would everything be okay in just 1 or 2 or 3 days or 2 weeks, right? So my opinion is, my educated opinion is Tesla overreacted, right? But this fight is probably going to be over. I mean, all the bad is already kind of out there. So we're going to be trading within this range of pre-breakup with with Trump and Elon, I think it's an overreaction. So we're going to be, I believe, between 285 and 330. Okay. So given this view, what option positions can we open? What option trades can we make? Well, here's a second option play. We would sell pre-breakup level. Okay. So we could do 330, but really we can go for a bit more income. And this is a slightly bullish play. It's a bullish play, but the higher you go up, the more bullish you are. I'm slightly bullish, right? Just a little bit. I think we're going to get some volatility. And I showed you the first play. First play was you're slightly bearish. This play, you're slightly bullish. Okay. So 315, we can sell this call option. You can see here how it's a slight bullish play, right? So you get a big return, pretty big return here. And this can happen in a very short amount of time, 2 weeks, right? In a 2-week trade, you can make, roughly $1,900, and you're putting up a total cost of about $6,000. Basically, let's call it 2K roughly, and you're putting up roughly 6K. So right around that 30%.
So it's just pretty much buying the 290 and selling 315 cover call, which is 2 weeks out, and it's only costs 6,000 instead of 7,000. I guess it's a way to get
return mark you can make in 2 weeks if Tesla has a quick recovery. So this would you go for 305, and now you can see here that you would get your maximum gain here at 305, and you would have a slightly different chart, right? $1,000 pretty fast on this position because it gains a lot of value very quickly in this zone right here, which is the 315. And now just to show you a little bit more of an example, let's just say you're less bullish, but just a little bullish. Again, you can also let's go get this profit really quickly as long as Tesla stays in the zone. Anyways, this is called the poor man's covered call. I will leave a video to more poor man's covered call strategy in the description, but let's move over into my third trade. All right, my third trade. And I haven't talked about this for a very long time, and I'll leave you 2 educational videos in the description. The third strategy is an iron condor. So Tesla has increased the volatility right now. Given that it has increased volatility, these options are worth more. So you can go for an iron condor play. So you would go down a lot. So let's say 270. I'm going down a lot, right? We can argue that this is still kind of very, very possible.
Iron
but
condor.
270, you would sell a put. And I would not open up this trade myself because in my Discord community, I focus on retirement strategies. I focus on working with clients. I want to make $10,000 plus per month and then have some capital in their portfolio. And then it makes sense for them because they're getting closer to retirement. I can build them a clear plan so my value is clear to them, and then my fees make sense. Of course, if you have a small portfolio, then it's a bit more difficult to work together. But this is a small account trade right here, which would be higher on the risk. So you wouldn't fall into the retirement category of who my ideal person to work with is. But I still think this iron condor strategy is interesting, especially for the personality type that kind of wants more of that risk and wants to take advantage of increased implied volatility, which is the case right now in Tesla. So going back to my Wall Street days, I do think higher risk traders would be making this trade right now. So a sell put, right, and then you would buy a put to.
I'm gonna guess that he's going to sell the puts at the 270 and then buy at the 250, and then he's gonna sell call at the 320 and then buy it at the 330 or something.
265, right? This is essentially a put credit spread.
Oh, 265, okay.
You're just gonna do the same thing. You're gonna sell, though. You're gonna sell calls, but above now the price. And say we would go to 320, right? So you would sell the 320. And again, we're just going for a $5 gap. So from 320 to 325, then you go ahead and buy this right here. And now you have a short iron condor. So you're selling an iron condor, and you're collecting a total credit of $190 or so, right? Maybe $200, and you're risking 300. But you can see here that you have a pretty good green profit zone as long as Tesla kind of bounces between this level, which I think is pretty likely to do so because it had the biggest day crash. So it's probably not going to crash that much more since all the news got baked in just like that and like immediately. And it's also probably not going to recover super quick as well because, well, why would it recover super quick? Since there's some big issues kind of with the relationship. There's no relationship, so there's no issues with the relationship. The relationship is done, which, man, Elon kind of shoots himself in the foot sometimes. Like this guy just, it's a lot of ego and a lot of just mentally, I don't know, something's up with the ego for sure. Just keeps kind of messing around with the Tesla shareholders by picking fights with people. So kind of difficult personality there. But anyways, it'll probably stay within this level, and this is an iron condor that can have a really good return, and you're really not putting up that much capital, so this is very small account friendly. In conclusion, I am pretty neutral on Tesla right now. I was pretty bearish on Tesla in my Discord community, and I'm happy to lead my community to more profits and outperformance in the market because I actually feel like I'm guiding them in the right direction away from some of the riskier stocks. And I recently posted in my Discord community, it's not always like what you trade. Oftentimes your results will really be dependent on what you don't trade. So this is a very valuable lesson that you can take away. Anyways, hopefully that you enjoyed this video. 3 trades that you can look into for Tesla. Of course, be careful, not financial advice.
I do like, his trades aren't too bad. Iron Condor gives good returns. I don't know. Was that 50%? I guess a maybe. I guess we'll see how it looks like. It's called the option strat. Let's see. It's build an iron condor. Wait, inverse? No. Let's do the iron condor. Let's go to Tesla. He said 265, right? Wait, he said June 20th. 265, 20, 325. So you get 37 and the max loss. Was that it? Let me look at it again.
So my Discord community is not sure. Just keeps kind of messing. So probably not going to recover super quick as well because, well, total credit of
265, 270. 265, 270. 260. 70. 265. What's the other one? That was 320 and 325. 320 and 325. So for 270 max, that's not 15%. You're gonna lose a little bit more. So let's reduce the range. Let's see, buys it. Profit zone. You can pretty much make your $200 back by most likely the 19th. So you get 1 day to collect that area of money. It's okay. You know what? Not too bad. Invest with Henry. Not gonna say it's the best. I guess you can make some money off Tesla because it is a very volatile stock. Then he gives the full course. See, another reason why I got to invest with Henry is definitely better than invest with Corey by margins. Gives you free courses, doesn't charge you thousands of dollars for free information. Don't do invest with Corey. That guy's an idiot. He's gonna rip you off. Do it with someone else. Like, it doesn't matter. This guy doesn't even ask you for money. Doesn't push his courses. Buy NVIDIA ACP. Must do now. Let's see what this one's about.
Stick with me.
There's a lot of commercials in the beginning though.
Be a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire in NVIDIA, I have a massive update for you in this video, as well as a couple of option plays, leap option plays that will make you a lot of money without having to put up that much upfront capital. My massive update will talk about price target on NVIDIA, latest research on NVIDIA. I'm going to go over the technical analysis. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. So NVIDIA is currently trading for $141 in the fundamentals of NVIDIA right now. The PE, and that is a good indicator. Okay, this is what's important to look at. If it's 13, man, nobody can predict the short-term future. Okay, good. It's fantastic. Okay, when you look at a majority of options, they're typically going to be a lot wider bid-ask spread than this is for a profit early as well. You don't have to hold an option until
Buy the 120 for pretty much a year for 4,000. Okay.
the strike price. Okay, you're $80 above the strike price. You're $40 above the break even. More than it'll be that if we get a short-term rise in NVIDIA. This is one of the smartest plays that I think you can do with DEVA options, of course, which I know some of you guys have.
If you're gonna buy for that long, I don't know. In my opinion, why not just buy it at the money? Why buy it in the money? Are you that afraid that the price might come back down at some point? You buy it at the money, it has to go up $20 to make a profit. Oh yeah, I can see why he does it. But yeah, see, does make some safe leap options. Other than that, hope you enjoyed this video about invest with Henry. Smash like button, subscribe.